Hey y'all, welcome to Nerd Ratio. I'm Sam, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Loyal Subjects San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from several years back, glow-in-the-dark Snake-Eyes and camouflage Stormshadow, also known as Radioactive Snake-Eyes. But to me, he sold the set as that cool glow-in-the-dark feature. How often do you see a glow-in-the-dark Snake-Eyes? The packaging looks pretty darn neat. You can see that they're on one side we have Stormshadow here, very cool artwork, stylized. We got the San Diego Comic-Con logo, and then on the other side we have Radioactive Snake-Eyes. It's good artwork, good box, but you know what? I'm the kind of guy that likes to take my toys out of the box, even if they're for display. So let's pop this bad boy open, all right? Check out this. Easy reseal. I mean, that is an awesome feature right there. I had intended on opening this off camera, but now I've got to give them a nod. I can keep this package now. If I really want to and display it, I can keep the package and put whatever I wanted to it, or just, you know, put these back if I want to do it that way. This looks nice. Yeah, it's a little noisy to open, so I was going to open off camera, but I am super impressed with that. Good job, Loyal Subjects. Looking nice. Now I'll pop them out. And check him out. There's Stormshadow out of the package, sporting his V2 look. You can see that there is a Arashikage symbol, right? Like it would be right here on his hand. You can see he's got the rope across. He's got the belt here, which the actual, we're coming up on the 51st. It's still packaged as a 50th anniversary release of a Stormshadow in this design, and this belt got cost cut. So for those of you who are wanting a Stormshadow 2 update with that belt, there you go. I mean, it's just painted on. This is a very flat body. It's got camo painted on. There's some detail here molded on. This is very different from what I've come to expect from the Loyal Subjects with some of their newer product. The joints are super tight. Definitely something I think they've worked out better since then. We only have 3 points of articulation here, and you know that's definitely not what I'm used to from the Loyal Subjects now, is they're doing the action vinyls. So let's put him on spin while I pull out his equipment and start playing with that. He comes, and I already took these out of the baggie. He comes with some swords here, and they've got the nice Arashikage logo on them, and you can see a red handle here. You've got another one that's a little longer. I know that sometimes one was used for defense and one was used for attacking when they had 2 like this. He's got one sheath, and it's definitely meant for the longer one. It matches the length there. Well, if you really wanted to, you could put the short one in there too if you really wanted. I noticed that his backpack hole does not match the backpack hole for, say, Leonardo, which I should have brought in here with me before I began this review, but it looks like my son has Leonardo at the moment. We've been kind of passing those back and forth. We have 2 Mikeys, so I've been keeping Mikey in here. Oh, there's Leonardo. You can see that his backpack hole does not match. Definitely a lot thicker and bigger. I pointed out the Transformers backpack pegs didn't work out either, so I don't know if that's something they're doing in different lines. They're just equipping people with different backpack pegs sizes. Maybe it's a requirement for the license. I'm not sure. But this, like I said, is definitely more. It's definitely changed. The Loyal Subjects has evolved over the years. This is 2013. Now, with the upcoming Loyal Subjects, I'll throw in a couple of slides of articulation points towards the end of this video. But we see a ton of added articulation. I can't remember if we're looking at 9 or so. Just check it out. Check out the slide in a minute. That way I don't give you the wrong number. But we see that fits in well, nice and snug. Once I actually manipulated the arms and the head, they do move fine, but they weren't for a bit, so they work kind of tight. But Stormy's kind of the bonus of the set for me. He's not the reason I bought the set. You can see a lot of good painted on detail, but this is more of a kid robot style. And now the Loyal Subjects has evolved and is doing something more like this, with lots of articulation, and the body's tighter and sculpted with more detail. And you know, I can't express how happy I am that they went this style for Joe Wave 2, and really none of their current products look like this to me. Maybe there's something I'm not aware, but this looks like almost a shrunk down Mighty Mugs. But I mean, you have to realize this was a startup thing for them. This was where they started. So it's not bad for a start, but where we've gone to now, man, have they improved. Now we're going to break out glow-in-the-dark Snake-Eyes. That's who I really wanted to see. We'll pause these guys from spinning around here and keep them in one place. Glow-in-the-dark Snake-Eyes, or Radioactive Snake-Eyes, he has got the same kind of body as Stormshadow. It looks to be the exact same mold. Yep, exact same mold it appears, with just different paint apps to create the different outfit. But he does have a different head, and you can see the visor is sculpted on. I was curious about that. It looked to be, but I wasn't 100% sure. We've got white details. The white details actually seem to show details underneath of them. So like the grenades seem to be semi-transparent white because they show the belt line underneath it. I don't know if that's the way they were painted. Interesting style. I don't think I've seen that before. We've got a backpack hole here. It actually looks smaller than the Stormshadow backpack hole. And it may be. That's interesting. That is bizarre. It does appear to be a different size. So I'm a little curious about that. We've got a similar katana. It looks like the same mold, so I'm a little concerned it may not fit well. I took apart the other one on camera, but you can see they separated here, a little perforated thing by each item. And then to actually get inside, you are going to have to, you know, push a little bit or tear or poke it with something sharp. But we see that these two are comparable, same height, that kind of thing. But again, wave 2 of Joe, which several years in between, is going to look more like this. Going to be an action vinyl, and that's kind of what they're doing. This is 2014. So you can see they came a good ways in just a short amount of time. We'll spin those guys so you can see all of Snake-Eyes while I pull out his sword and his gear. Same sheath, same sword, only this time glow in the dark, which that's awesome. I can't tell you how much I love glow in the dark stuff. I am that guy that toy companies are trying to get, even as a kid. Glue in the dark, you got it. Got a little Uzi here, so we'll just put Uzi in his hand, and this is based off of a V2 look for Snake-Eyes, not the Commando goggles. The Commando goggle version will be around soon in the new wave. Okay, it does fit. It seems snugger to me. It seems much snugger. More snug? That should be the word. More snug. That's how I should say that. Got some glow-in-the-dark paint. Gonna mix with some stuff to make some more glow-in-the-dark type items later. Customizing, so keep up with nerdratio.com and the Facebook page. I occasionally share customs that I do there. And certainly if you got a custom, we want to see it, so let us know, and we can, you know, put a link and maybe spotlight a few customs. We've done that before, like the G.I. Joe Millennium Falcon. I love looking at customs like that. But as you can see, the rotation here, very plain bodies. Basic movement here for Snake-Eyes. His joints were not nearly as tight as Stormshadow's. I've heard that there was some quality issues on Wave 1, just QC issues from a comic shop owner, a friend of mine. Nothing, I don't think, catastrophic. But I mean, I just have experienced so little issues with these that finding him with some stiff joints was interesting. Of course, he's been in a package for a while too, and it's probably as part of a smaller run. But anyways, the part you want to see, right? The glow-in-the-dark feature, all right? In just a second, the lights are going to go, and you're going to see glow in the dark. Alright, not perfectly dark, but you can see Snake-Eyes in motion here. I've got a little Pirates of the Caribbean blacklight ring. I love that that little gimmick that they had where you could show up some things on the figures, some paint detail on the figures. So I've got the ring and I've kept it for use for this kind of thing. And just because I like little black lights, things like that. You can see that the glow's charge stays pretty well. It is a little bit light in this room, so you can just barely, I can anyways, make out some details on Stormshadow. It's not pitch black, but man, does it look nice. I mean, how often do you see glow-in-the-dark Snake-Eyes? Absolutely spectacular. I'm really glad to have this line, or these two guys, and I'm really looking forward to be into this line. Wave 1 was more like this. It was more just standard bodies. Wave 2 looks amazing. I cannot wait to dig in. And Snake-Eyes is going to take his place on my glow-in-the-dark shelf. Stormshadow, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with yet. Stormshadow, I've wondered if maybe I should make an attempt at making Stormshadow glow in the dark as well, with some of this paint, mixing it with some Citadel paint that I have. Or maybe I should give Stormshadow V2 to my kid. I'm not sure just yet, but I'm thinking that I'm going to have to look forward to a future Stormshadow. Look at that in the black light. Look at some of those features glow. You know what? He looks pretty good in the black light too, I gotta say. It's all that white. Oh, and that red pops really nice. I like him in the black light. But I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll see. But if I had to review him, I mean, Snake-Eyes gets a 10 out of 10. You know what? I'm gonna call that back. I'm gonna scale that down. Despite loving the idea, now that I've seen the better body style, I'm gonna have to go with 8 out of 10. Just because of the lack of articulation. But man, that is just perfect for what it is. A desk shelf type of toy. It's a more traditional vinyl, less action vinyl. Stormshadow, I think I'm going to have to give a 6 out of 10 without a gimmick. He, I love that he's got the Arashikage symbol on. I love that, you know, some of these little details here. But at the same time, Stormshadow doesn't seem... If I'm going to have just a desk Stormshadow, I wouldn't have gone with this version. And I definitely think that the body mold kind of hinders him a bit more than it does Snake-Eyes without that gimmick. A very flat, plain face, and you can see his eyes, which are kind of the more cartoony version. I don't know, maybe 6 is harsh, it's low. I do like it, but just it doesn't compare to Wave 2. It's definitely like pulling out a straight arm 82 figure and then comparing it to the 83, or if you pull out a new Sculpt Era figure and compare it to like a Pursuit of Cobra figure. It feels like there's some nice stuff here, but man, the new stuff is blowing it out of the water. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed this little video look at and review. Hopefully I'll be getting it up on the YouTube soon. Check out everything else on the channel. There's plenty of stuff there. Opening blind boxes with my kid. Then there's cosplay videos, there's more reviews, and then on the website you can hook up with our podcast, which is kind of the main thrust we got going on, as well as articles and reviews and all kinds of things. And we're even actually looking for more people to write. So if you're interested in writing a review, something like that, we'd love to hear from you. Contact us at nerdratio@gmail.com, and certainly check us out at nerdratio.com. And just thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes. Take it easy, guys. Have a good whatever it is, the rest of the day, the rest of the night, whatever, and enjoy your YouTube viewing experience.